Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we diving into two powerful psalms that really pack a punch. Psalm 75 and Psalm 76. They read all about God's justice and power, and they offer so much encouragement for us today. Let's start with Psalm 75. The psalmist Asaph kicks it off with gratitude. He says, "We praise you, God, we praise you, for your name is near." It's a beautiful reminder to start with thanks, recognizing that God is always close to us. The psalm then shifts to God's perspective. God declares that He has set a time for judgment. He says, "When I choose the appointed time, it is I who judge with equity." This is a huge concept. In a world that often feels unfair, where the proud seem to get ahead, God promises that a day of reckoning is coming. He is the one who holds the scales of justice. The psalm vividly describes this. God warns the arrogant not to boast and the wicked not to lift their horns so high. What does that mean? The horn was a symbol of strength and pride. God is telling them, don't be so full of yourselves. Why? Because promotion and demotion, success and failure, ultimately come from Him. He says, "For exaltation comes neither from the east nor from the west nor from the south. But it is God who judges. He brings one down. He exalts another." This is a powerful check on our own pride and a comforting thought when we see injustice. It's not our job to exact revenge. It's God's role to judge. The psalm ends with this image of a cup in the Lord's hand, full of foaming wine mixed with spices. He pours it out, and all the wicked of the earth must drink it down to its very dregs. It's a stark picture of the consequences of evil. But for the psalmist and for us, the response is praise. He commits to declaring God's greatness forever. Now, let's move on to Psalm 76, which continues this theme. This psalm celebrates a specific victory where God defended His people. It starts by saying God is renowned in Judah. His name is great in Israel. His dwelling place is in Zion, on Mount Zion. This is a celebration of God's presence with His people. He's not some distant, uninvolved deity. He lives among them and fights for them. The psalm describes how God shattered the weapons of war, the flaming arrows, the shields and swords, the weapons of war. He completely disarmed a powerful enemy. The mightiest warriors were rendered helpless. They slept their last sleep. This demonstrates God's awesome power. The psalm asks, who can stand before you when you are angry? The answer is no one. When God decides to act, the whole earth stands in silent awe. His judgment isn't just about punishment, it's about rescue. He rises to save all the oppressed of the land. This is the heart of God's justice. It brings salvation to the humble and downtrodden. It's a justice that restores and protects. One of the most interesting verses is verse 10. "Surely the wrath of man shall praise you. How can human anger praise God?" It means that even the most furious opposition and wicked plans of people will ultimately serve God's purpose. He can take the worst of human intent and turn it into something that ultimately glorifies Him and accomplishes His will. Think about that. Nothing is outside of His sovereign control. The psalm concludes with a call to action. We are encouraged to make vows to the Lord and fulfill them. Let everyone bring gifts to the one who is to be feared. The one who cuts off the spirit of princes and is feared by the kings of the earth. So what do we take away from these two psalms? First, we can rest in the knowledge that God is the ultimate judge. When we see injustice, we don't have to despair or take matters into our own hands. We can trust that God has an appointed time to make all things right. Second, we can be confident in God's power. No enemy, no challenge, no worldly power is a match for Him. He is the protector of the humble and the defender of the oppressed. And finally, our response to this just and powerful God should be worship, gratitude, and awe. We live our lives in reverence to Him, trusting His timing and His mighty power. Thanks so much for joining me to explore these incredible psalms. I hope they brought you as much encouragement as they brought me. If you found this helpful, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. See you next time.